This week on the PRESSURECAST, PlayStation Network is accused of harboring terrorists, Activision dominates television advertisements, and Bubsy is back. Plus, impressions of Star Wars Battlefront and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It's Monday, November 23rd, 2015. Everything happening in the world of video games is here, now, on the PRESSURECAST. Hey, Pressure Pals, welcome to the 105th episode of the PRESSURECAST. Video Games Are Dumb.com's weekly news panic that posts every single Monday on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and America's longest-running independent newspaper at ShepherdExpress.com. My name is Colin, 2 Coffees Tanner, and I am a little caffeinated, as you can probably tell if you're watching or listening to this podcast here. I'm actually going to be doing all the talking. There's no one else here this week, except for Steve, the Right Stuff Combs.
How's it going? I miss you guys.
Yeah, man, where you been, man?
I've sequestered myself to a room without any windows, and I've just been listening to Buffalo Stance by Nina Cherry on repeat for the past 3 weeks.
I love that song.
What's the name of the room? Have you named your room?
Who is that that's asking about rooms? Oh, yeah, that's Justin Ingelbart.
Oh, man, Colin, you look tanner than we do on the video.
Just a little topical humor, there, boy.
We have an email that we have to get to.
If we don't hurry up, we're not going to get to it.
Okay, we have an email this week because this is... Oh, wait, hold on. If you've never listened to the PRESSURECAST before, let me break it down for you. Each week, the PRESSURECAST slices up the latest video game news, past, present, and future, and delivers it right into your ear, right into one ear.
One ear out of the other.
In several sensational segments and 2 hours or less. That's close enough to how I say words. But we start off with our very first segment. Thank you for the email. This is the part of the show where we listen back to the listeners, where the viewers view us, and then they type things, and we read it back to you, and you can reach us, pressurecast@gmail.com, that's pressurecast@gmail.com, or on Twitter, @pressurecastpod, or even call us at 954-947-7377, text or call, have your voice message or text message on air, just like Big Matty West did. Big Matty West!
Big Matty!
Honorary 4th member.
Yes. He's the 5th Beatle, and yeah, okay.
He's George Martin.
Fantastic. George R.R. Martin, more like it. You know what I mean?
He's right in the game.
Big beards, doesn't like to own a computer, likes to use a word processor. Here's what he has to say. With the success of the new microtransaction system in Halo 5 and Destiny, is this something to be concerned about? Will it be the thin end of the wedge, so to speak? I like that phrase, by the way. The thin edge of the...
That must be from a different country. I don't remember that phrase. I never heard it.
Will this
Not familiar with that idiom?
Will this eventually become the norm for all video games? Thanks, guys. I look forward to hearing your opinions. Big Matty West. Well, Matty, you do have reason to be concerned because Halo just raked in, no joke, $700,000 just from rec packs.
Jesus.
These are the things that you buy for the, whatever they call it, the Forge, Arena, whatever they call that system inside there. They allow you to buy like shotguns for one-time use. Microtransactions, they are definitely invading games. Should we be worried, guys?
They're already here. We should. I mean, there's no reason to be worried because the ship has sailed. It's here. There's microtransactions everywhere, and microtransactions are pretty gross. All things considered.
Here's a stupid
The only time I don't really mind them is when it's for just little aesthetic things, you know? Like, oh, you can buy a clown hat for your character in this game.
How much is the clown? I would like that clown hat, please.
If you were, exactly. If you're the kind of guy who is willing to pay $1 for a clown hat, fine. But when you get into actual content that affects how the game itself plays, that's a problem.
You know, and then your dad gets the credit card statement, and he's like, what's $400 on DLC for a clown hat?
$400? It's a rare clown hat.
Colin, have your clan's been clashing here? I see there's a charge for $99.
See, that's just it. If we're talking about mobile games, they're always going to be built up around microtransactions. Well, not always, but right now the audience isn't educated enough to know what value is in video games. They're just kind of like, I don't know.
They're banking on that, aren't they?
Yeah, and when it comes to more AAA games, I honestly don't think you have to be worried about that. Microtransactions are generally built into games that have online play, and frankly, that makes sense to me because that's where microtransactions originated from. Where a bunch of people that went, well, I want to get into the game, but honestly, like everyone's so much farther than I am. It would take forever to level up, and they're like, well, what if we charged you $10 and you could be as good as everybody else? And went, okay, sure. It's that time versus money. What are you richer with?
Yeah.
If you have more time, just keep playing the game. You'll get the stuff anyway. And if it's money, then just pay the money itself. Now, there are some things that are locked away, certainly in games. But
Lock them up.
But for the most part, like you said, it's aesthetic stuff that when you kind of talk about Valve games, like Team Fortress 2, like you can earn that gun or that hat or whatever the hell it's going to be, but you can just spend like $2 and get it. You know, it's not the end of the world.
It's up to the person that's playing.
Aesthetics are one thing, but I even the idea of like paying to win instead of playing to win, you know, I don't really like that very much.
There's
it doesn't
really
work for me.
But just saying pay to win is such a common term when it comes to video game culture that I don't think you have to worry about it because everyone's aware of it. Like, they know that term and they despise it. They hate it. They go, no, that's a bullshit game. And so when you see a PR guy that's on camera, he just goes, oh, yeah, it's not pay to win. You know,
it is. It always is.
Well, you can't.
If you say it's not, it definitely is.
If
right?
the game is properly balanced, then it's already a good game. You got the sniffles today, Steve.
So you're saying
I'm sorry.
if it's
I get a cold. It's Justin's fault.
If it's a good game, it's a good game, right, Colin?
Yes. I mean, don't worry about it. Microtransactions are not going to invade everything. They're going to reach that limit where it's like, okay, multiplayer, sure. But once you start getting into single player, it's kind of like, I don't think anyone's going to want to buy that. Besides that, most of the time, the content is so inconsequential that you're missing out on absolutely nothing. Like pre-order bonuses. People used to bemoan, oh, I'm not going to get that special,
very good.
that special horse in Red Dead Redemption. And, you know, I'm sorry, all you got was like 80 hours worth of great game. Sorry about that.
Great storyline.
Yeah,
I don't know. My prediction is at some point in the near future, a major franchise is going to try and sell you their game just piecemeal. Like you're going to buy little segments of it instead of buying one thing.
You mean
that's
like-
going to happen?
You mean Final Fantasy?
And that's going to be the
15?
litmus test for the future.
Oh, like Telltale games. You only buy one episode.
But not episodically. Like I'm talking about like a Call of Duty game where you're buying individual maps, you're buying guns, you're buying individual components instead of a full piece of a game. That's going to happen eventually, and that will be like the tipping point for for that type of microtransaction.
Look, is it going to expand in some territories? Of course, I think especially in Asia, that's going to happen because most of the games there are free to play. Areas like Russia, not so much because they actually, they just steal the games. But
we know the future here at PRESSURECAST, so we can tell you exactly what will happen.
Okay, great. Well, I don't know. I feel like we covered it. We all just gave our opinions on it.
I didn't have a good opinion. I'm sorry, Matt.
All right, just throw one out there. Just throw out an opinion right there.
This is fine. You get it if you want it. Otherwise, you don't have to do it.
So it doesn't matter anyway.
Do things if you want to do things.
Yeah,
Don't do it
right?
if you don't want to.
Because
It
I'm like, you
doesn't
know what? I don't want to
matter
pay any extra money. So.
Anyway, hey,
Hey, I don't know this song, man. I would have sung
No.
it either.
Your lips are sealed. DLC is sealed. Okay, I like my flat delivery.
Mamma mia.
There we go. Let's just change the song.
I thought
All
it was the
right.
same song.
Thank you for the email, Big Meta West. Just remember, guys, if you need that contact information, it's actually in the description below of this podcast and or YouTube video. So don't be afraid, as Justin always says. Don't be terrified to.
Did I say that?
You said it last week. You said everyone's just too scared.
Yeah,
to be
everyone
on here.
needs to get the blood
Hey,
running.
if you're too scared, just Google Colin's name and then just show up at his house. He'll
If you're
really
scared, go
like
to
that.
church, dude.
That's a great thing.
If you feel scared, go to
if you're
church.
scared, go to church.
Oh no, here it comes, Kabloom! That's right, it's time for earth-shattering news.
Hey, you got it right this week.
Yes, this is the part of the show where we talk about that one story that is imperative to your understanding of the video game landscape. Landscape?
Landscape.
That's my
Landscape, we
favorite
better
band.
start over from the beginning.
That's my favorite band, Landscape.
Landscape.
They're hardcore, man.
Lamb of God scape.
Okay. That's a...
Escape the lamb.
Escape. That's my new game coming out pretty soon.
Escape the lamb.
Okay, we talk about a seismic shift here. ISIS. They recently claimed responsibility for the terrorist attack that resulted in 130 civilians dead in Paris.
I thought there was more than that.
More people injured. Lots more injured. More than 130 injured. A tragic, horrible event. And in the aftermath, of course, politicians are talking. They're saying things that are, whatever. Well, let's not get into that. But one of the reports that came out early on was from Forbes, the website, saying that somehow ISIS had actually been using the PlayStation 4 network, specifically the PlayStation 4 network, because they found one PlayStation 4 in, where was this? I don't remember. They found one PlayStation 4. That was all. And they were like, well,
Is it more likely that ISIS likes to play Bloodborne or something like that?
well,
This game is so hard. I hate this.
no, they're against fun, so probably not. But the thing that happened was that this happened, and then Forbes said, "Hey, it's very difficult for the government to actually cover any of the conversations going on PlayStation Network." Like, they pointed out, this is not the very first time this was pointed out, is it possible that ISIS has been doing this? And the story actually really stemmed from Belgium's Interior Minister, Jan Jabon. Here's what he said.
Is it a girl? Is it a guy?
The most difficult, well, it's Jan, and it's Belgium. It's a guy. The most difficult communication between these terrorists is via PlayStation 4. It's very, very difficult for our services, not only Belgian services, but international services, to decrypt the communication that is done via PlayStation 4. So if this dude from Belgium is saying this in the wake of this horrible event, it absolutely must have some credence to it.
So does he really think they're using like PlayStation group chat during a Rocket League match to plan terrorist assaults?
No problem.
It wouldn't be it wouldn't be a bad place to do it if you're going to do it. And so a lot of people picked up on this. It was on Fox News, MSNBC. It was all over the news. Except none of that's true.
Yeah.
And not in the way that you're thinking, like this guy's overreacting. He's not. This is not him responding to the Paris attacks. How do we know this? Because he made that statement 3 days before the attacks in Paris. Mm-hmm. Yet, number of news outlets covered this as if it just happened, and it absolutely did not whatsoever. In fact, Sony did respond. They found a PlayStation 4 console during a raid in Brussels.
Because they like to play FIFA. I mean,
yeah, come on.
Honestly, if you think of ways to communicate, even like encrypted communication or different channels to do that kind of thing.
Sorry, you can move the mic. I don't care.
Right.
If they found a ham radio, they probably would have said they were using.
Yeah, I know. Radio, right? Yeah, what if they found like a CB, like they're listening to Convoy by C.W. McCall, and like
they're using the CB radio to communicate.
Yeah, the point is, yeah, I mean,
very easy to track a CB radio though. Very different.
It's not. That's just a terrible way to plan terrorist attacks.
Oh, no, on the PlayStation 4, it's actually very good because it's very difficult for the government to encrypt that area. That's the one area that they cannot get into is on there. I mean, if you're on PC, it's actually pretty easy to encrypt your conversations. But when it comes to, and I know, I use a VPN, whatever, buddy. But on the PlayStation 4, totally different network. It's on its own thing. Sony did respond to this. They were, who'd they give the statement to? Eurogamer. They said this to Eurogamer. PlayStation 4 allows communication amongst friends, fellow gamers, blah, 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 blah. With all modern connected devices, this has the potential to be abused. However, we take our responsibilities to protect our users extremely seriously, and we urge our users and partners to report activities that may be offensive, suspicious, or illegal. When we identify or are notified of such conduct, we are committed to taking appropriate actions in conjunction with the appropriate authorities, and will continue to do so.
I think they should just get rid of the chat feature altogether, huh?
No, I feel so bad.
It's the only way.
I hate to say this. I feel so bad for Sony because they're just getting this. I mean, should they give this access to the government? That is a political statement. You have your own answer, listener, and that's fine. But did this happen? According to every other source, absolutely not. There is no evidence that this took place. And the onus of evidence is on the accuser, not the producer of the service.
Yeah, I don't know how you jump from we found a PlayStation to that's how they're planning terrorist attacks. Like they probably found like Wonder Bread and bologna. They're not like planning terrorist attacks on bologna sandwiches.
They're not using the bologna sandwiches to communicate with each other.
I mean, that's how I
communicate.
messages.
Yeah, do you write it in the mustard?
Yeah.
It's like as soon as he reads the message, he just takes another piece of bread and puts it on top of there so he smushes the
Great message. Ooh, I need a sandwich.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little political for me,
Man,
guys.
I'd go for a big turkey sandwich. How about you, Justin?
Oh, Jesus.
Baby.
Okay, guys. So we basically covered it. That was the biggest story of the week because the rest of the stories are really cool.
But I'm glad we got through that. That was
they're
hard.
not going to be as important as the accusation that terrorists are using their PlayStation 4s to plan attacks that result in real people, hundreds of people dying.
Listen, if you were a real terrorist planning like terrorist attacks, you would clearly use the Dreamcast network, the SegaNet.
That's a good choice.
No one would expect that.
No.
All right, guys, that will do it. Let's go on. We're done with the earth-shattering news. You guys got all your stuff?
Oh, wait. Is Roscoe coming?
I hear it. Okay, it's about to come around the corner. You guys ready? We got to jump.
It's Assassin's Creed style.
Okay, we got it.
Oh, shit, I dropped my shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fucked.
That's right. It's time for the Hype Train. Feel the PR vibrations as we barrel towards Video Game Satisfaction Station on the Hype Train. This is part of the show where we talk about all those upcoming video games that get you so hyped you spend all your money and end up homeless on the street with the Hype Train.
Hey, look, there's a shipment of tainted hams on the Hype Train this week.
I thought you brought those. That's unusual. All right, let's kick it off with the rather unfortunate delay of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. This was supposed to be released on February 23rd. Square Enix has since been like, let's say August 2016. How about we say that? According to the head of Eidos Montreal, David Afonso.
Ooh, Afonso. Very fancy.
We are confident and proud of the game so far. However, as we are now playing through the game in full, we can see that it will require more time in post-production for tuning, iteration, and refinement to our high standards.
So it's buggy, probably?
Or that, or maybe they're
sounds
just like, there's not enough options here. Because Deus Ex, even the last game, was about giving you the options. You're going to go in stealth, or you're going to go, persuasive.
Are you going to do this optional quest?
Yeah, you can either go into the police station by being like, hey, I actually have some dirt on you. Let me in. So you're being like a bad guy, or like, oh no, I'll just sneak in. Or, hey, I just got a gun. I'm running in that police station no matter what, guys.
It's a public building. I'm allowed in here.
Did you play the last Deus Ex?
Yeah, I played through it.
I did.
What'd you think, Steve?
I thought it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was okay. Well, you were talking about the choice thing, and I know that there's a director's cut or whatever, but I bought it like the day it came out, and I felt like it really sort of funneled the player towards violence instead of, chatting their way through things or being super sneaky. Especially with boss fights. Like, I got to a boss fight with kind of like a stealth kind of charisma build or whatever. We were talking about this with Fallout 4, where it's the same thing, where I was used to old Deus Ex, where I could walk in, I could talk my way out of a boss fight or whatever. Yeah. And in this situation, it was just like, JK, I'm going to shoot you in the face with a machine gun.
And I'm going to turn invisible and run around. You have to, it just turned into, I feel really bad because the boss fights were like Metal Gear style boss fights, but in first person, which just doesn't work.
Well. And then the other issue that I had with it is I felt like a lot of the environments were kind of, they felt kind of closed off and samey, Like, how many rooms did you walk in Deus Ex where it was just like a bunch of like, I don't know, cubicles with computer screens?
What's wrong with that? You don't want to.
That's like the game's aesthetic.
Hack his computer. Get all his emails.
Sounds like
get all the hacks.
Fighting Force 2, huh?
But that being said, I still had fun, and I unlocked a perk where I could like reach through walls with my robot arms and like bear hug people to death.
I liked the game, but I just by the end of it, I felt I needed to get out of there. It was just I was done with it. I do like it. There's a point where all these people get hacked and they're freaking out, and I found this one guy in a room, and I don't think he was. I don't think you're supposed to hear the audio, like a single bit of that audio. I'm learning how to talk today. Where there's a bunch of people together, so it's supposed to be like a big bit of madness. But when you hear this guy by himself, he was just like, get out of here! Let's get him! Let's get him!
Yeah, audio glitches are like people always talk about like the visual glitches. My character fell through the floor. Audio glitches are usually more prevalent, and they're way more annoying
and way funnier though.
A lot of times they're funnier too.
It sounded like that guy that was on the news when the dog was attacking him. He's like, "You get out of here! You go!"
Oh yeah.
Look up at that clip online. Okay, toot toot. Resident Evil 6. Many people consider it to be the worst Resident Evil in the main series. Yeah. Well, guess what? It's going to be spreading over to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. According to the Korean rating board, it is...
I thought we were quarantining Raccoon City to keep this from spreading.
That's all we know really about it, and it wouldn't be that big of a surprise because Capcom doesn't really have anything in the works, or at least nothing they're willing to talk about besides Street Fighter V and a Resident Evil 2 remake, and also...
Yeah, and they like money.
And also Resident Evil 0 being re-released, so it looks like they're just trying to re-release as many Resident Evils as possible.
Dude, bring back Maximo, come on.
Oh, dude.
How about more Mega Man?
I saw a copy of Maximo, almost picked it up, but I'm like, I don't know.
I want a Maximo HD collection, and I would like a Mark of Kree HD.
Oh, I love Mark of Kree. That game's awesome.
No, Oni fucking Musha. They're remastering everything except for Oni Musha, and that's the shit.
Oni Musha HD trilogy would be nice too.
I picked up all 3 copies for less than $20.
Gene Reno really gives a great performance in that game.
Oh, that's part 3, man.
Yeah.
Demon Siege. Something like that. Okay. Doot doot. Steve's favorite news of the week. Beyond Two Souls is coming to the PlayStation 4 on Tuesday. Out of nowhere, they just announced it. They're just like, hey, remember we're making Beyond Two Souls. Guess what? Tuesday. All right, fuck you.
Hey, do you like Willem Dafoe Goblin Face and his Magic Child? Come play.
By the way, they also announced that Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 4 will be released March 1st of 2016. By the way, they didn't really mention this, but Beyond Two Souls is going to be $30, which is actually not that bad of a deal for what it is.
Colin, I have a super important question for you.
Yes.
Is there a DDR dance pad that is compatible with the PlayStation 4?
I can see a way. I can figure out a way to do that.
Okay, because I want to play through Beyond Two Souls with a DDR
Steve
pad.
Spike.
Sorry.
Spiky Steve.
Sorry, I'm playing volleyball over here.
Okay.
Spike cuff.
I want to play through Beyond Two Souls with a DDR pad.
Now you're
That's
super
my
quiet.
dream.
Is there
That is
no
my
happy
dream.
medium?
I have no idea. I'm just being me. Just
Just listen to the headphones.
No one's happy anymore.
I am listening to headphones. I sound
Okay.
beautiful.
All right,
I'm like
great.
the Isaac Hayes of video games.
You're perfect right there. I'm
Ooh.
too loud.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay. My bad. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
Can't
sorry.
get enough
Kettle.
of your love, baby.
It's just me, the pot, the guy you just called Black.
Oh shit. Okay.
Second to race on this podcast.
Doot, doot. Okay. Gravity Rush is coming to the PlayStation 4. We already knew it was coming to the PlayStation 4, but good news for all you guys out there that want to play this game. It is officially being released on February 2nd, 2016 in the United States, which also includes a physical release now. So, you know, there you go. There's your answer. So please don't send an email going, do you expect there to be a physical release? That's the thing I see in all the comments on that story where it's like, we announced the physical release of Gravity Rush. And the comment goes, either physical or I won't buy. It's like
Why?
they confirmed it. They just said it.
You
know?
should try this out because people love physical releases so much. The next time someone's like, "Is there gonna be a physical release?" when clearly there's probably not gonna be, or you would have said something, just say yes and see if you can perpetuate a video game rumor.
Oh, I want to do that. That's fun.
And I'll-
Doot.
Okay.
All right. PlayStation 2 emulation is apparently coming to the PlayStation 4. We saw this earlier this week. Justin, it's your big day. We heard about it.
I want to play Alundra again.
That's PlayStation.
That
1.
is PlayStation 1 still.
What good games
what
are
do
on
you do?
PS2? All the ones I want to play are on PS2.
Onimusha.
How about Market? We just like named a bunch.
Market
Maximo. We just did.
I don't want to play any of those.
Are we in like a deja
The
vu?
Getaway.
The Getaway? No.
I
Is
like
there a good
The Getaway.
RPG on there? Probably, right?
Hey,
On the
play
PS2,
my
there's-
my favorite collaboration between Rockstar and Bungie. Oni.
Oh, yeah. Oni's pretty cool.
Oni, no, I don't want to play that either.
No, it's like a PlayStation 2 launch game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, though. It's not bad.
Colin, hit me with a PS2 RPG that I would want to play.
Odin Sphere.
Odin Sphere is really good.
I already played it.
Disgaea.
Play a newer one.
Oh, my God. I don't know. Valiant Hearts. Valiant Stories? Whatever it's called. You know what I mean.
I thought that was a PS1 game. I just can't win with you guys.
No, you really can't. But here's what you need to know. This was an email that Sony wrote and sent to Wired in response. This is all we have to go on. We are working on utilizing PlayStation 2 emulation technology to bring PS2 games forward to the current generation. We have nothing further to comment at this point in time. Now, this isn't a huge surprise because EA released all their old games along with Battlefront. It was Star Wars Racer Revenge, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. PlayStation 2 games
I see.
on the PlayStation 4. The racing game's okay. But
I was gonna say those aren't
N64
exactly.
pod?
I
Racing
wish,
game,
I would dream upon a dream upon a dream that they would just allow you to put a disc inside of the PlayStation 4 and just play it. Oh my God.
That'd be nice.
I have a question.
Girl, that'd be
Now,
easy.
I played this on the Dreamcast, and I don't know. I think it might have gotten a PS2 release, but do you remember the Twisted Metal style game with Star Wars characters?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Star Wars Demolition or something like that.
But it's based around the prequels. It's
Can you
not
play
based.
as Mara
No.
Jade, the Emperor's daughter?
He doesn't have a daughter.
Her name is Mara Jade. Well, he doesn't think he has a daughter, and then she just shows up. I think she.
Extended Universe isn't fucking canon anymore.
It's
Get the
Timothy
fuck out of
Zahn,
Get the
man.
fuck out of here.
So Chewbacca's alive again.
Great. That's awesome.
Wait,
Man,
how old do those guys live to be anyway?
Who cares?
Steve?
Are you talking about Wookiees?
Wookiees.
Yeah, they live to hundreds of years.
That's the noise they make, right?
No, they make the noise that goes doot doot. Halo 5 is going to be getting some updates. According to Josh Holmes, he had this to say. He's involved with the game. There was no insidious motivation behind going all ranked for Arena. This is a big controversial issue for Halo 5 fans. That was the design intent of the team working on that experience. That said, we've heard the requests, and we are actively working towards supporting unranked playlists for Arena in a future update. Of course, Arena is where you can also purchase all those goddamn rec packs.
Sounds like some people are taking this game too seriously, huh?
It's Halo, dude.
That response was really, really somber and
Everything about Halo is taken seriously by Halo fans.
You got to treat them like children. I'm sorry.
really like.
because people just flip out. Why doesn't my toy do this? You know,
My Master Chief looks different than the rest of them.
mine's rad.
Have you seen my gamer tag yet?
Yes. Doot doot. Forza 6 has added microtransactions. Ooh, baby, that's kind of controversial because Forza 5 had microtransactions. My Little Pony transactions, and that was one of the reasons people often criticized Forza 5, and rightfully so. It felt like you were being locked away from stuff. It took so long to unlock things in the game. It was kind of unacceptable. Forza 6 is a lot more responsible about that. So what are you purchasing? You're purchasing tokens. You can purchase them from 100 tokens to 20,000 tokens. 20,000 tokens, of course, cost $100. You can buy new tracks. You can buy new vehicles. But here's the thing. They're all earnable, and in fact, you can actually turn off microtransactions so you never see the option. You never see it. That's actually what they put in there, so you can turn it off.
So they put it in there so you can turn it off.
Well, because some people want to buy it. They just go, I just want that car. I don't care. I don't want to race this game. I just want to race that car.
Oh, look at those wheels.
Look
I
at
want that one.
That car's my car. I drive the car in real life. I drive the car in the game. You deal with this, huh?
Oh, God. My car would be horrible in a racing game.
Well, not if you're playing Gran Turismo.
Actually, yeah, in Gran Turismo, I bet I could drive my car. Because Gran Turismo, it was always just like, oh, cool, you unlocked the Plymouth Duster.
You got concept car from the late 80s.
Fantastic. Doot doot. Crytek. You might remember them from, well, when they
Like
didn't pay.
literally Crisis and nothing else?
Well, when they stopped paying their employees for Homefront 2, and then, you know, whatever. Never going to forget that. You guys really fucked up there. They also like to make games and VR demos. One of their VR demos, of course, is called Back to Dinosaur Island and was released for free on Steam this week. So if you got yourself a VR device, you can go to Steam and download Back to Dinosaur Island.
Stupid game.
According to David Bowman, he's the director of production from Crytek, players will see a powerful dinosaur breathing inches from their face, getting an unprecedented sense of immersive scale. To watch this scene in 2D is impressive, but when you're in virtual reality, it becomes more intimate and more exciting, giving you a feeling of presence. I like presents. Christmas time.
So it feels like going on the Spider-Man ride at Universal Studios?
No, dude. No one's ever going to top that. That's stupid shit.
Oh, you're right. Okay,
This
the
just
Back to the
sounds
Future
like,
ride.
it sounds like you're reading like the ad copy for like one of those like, you know, see the killer whales in the IMAX experience. Like,
That sounds awesome.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanna do
Dude, that does sound like an IMAX thing.
Dude,
doesn't
but
it?
seriously, is that real?
What is the killer
I wanna go
whales?
you can see the killer whales.
You just sold
You know
me.
what? That's at the museum. They just renamed it in honor of that Sorif guy that owns all kinds of stuff out here.
Sora from Final Fantasy X.
Carpet City.
Doot doot. All right. Disgaea is a game that came out a long, long, long time ago. What was it?
In a galaxy far away.
2003. 2003 is when it was released.
Now there's bunches of them.
It was later released on the PSP. It originally released on the PlayStation 2, and now, baby, it is coming to the PC in what is being called a definitive edition, including everything, as well as some enhanced graphics. So, you know, better, more pixels, better resolution, essentially, for this
Stupider story.
stupider story. It's going to get a lot dumber. It's going to be released in February. You know, and by the way,
Very
everybody,
exciting.
just to let you know, Disgaea 5 never coming to PSP,
P,
never coming to Vita. It's never coming to Vita. Stop saying you're gonna wait for the Vita version. They've already confirmed it will never come to Vita. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's
Just-
a really fun game though.
I
Disgaea
love those
5,
games, yeah.
girl, what you talking about? You been playing that?
No, when I was in California, we stayed with some friends, and one of my friends was playing through it. And there's a guy who is modeled after The Rock. And
Yeah.
he just talks like The Rock the whole time, and it was pretty cool.
It's a very funny game, and I actually do like the combat because you actually stack all of your attacks at once, as opposed to having to just sit around and watch, you know, every little character walk up, and do a little hit.
I also like how there's no caps on the damage you can do. So like he was doing
Yeah.
like 800 trillion points of damage. That's just silly.
It's a very silly game, and you know, but whatever. Disgaea 5, pretty cool game. Disgaea, the original one, pretty awesome game. Now coming to PC in February. Be there. Doot doot. Pillars of Eternity. Well, it feels like an eternity since we got our last DLC. We didn't get the White March since August. What the hell? Well, don't worry because
Who's saying that?
Nerd boys.
Oh.
Part 2 will be released next month. So there you go. Of the White March, which is the only DLC available currently. So you're getting the
White
second half
March,
of that.
huh?
Yeah.
What does that evoke in your mind when you think of the White March?
Oh,
White
it's a
Dog Squad?
Snowy March.
Snowy, maybe there's rabbits?
Yeah.
Rabbit footprints everywhere?
Oh, that's adorable. Dude, you should actually write for Hallmark. Doot doot! Blade and Soul, not to be confused with Soul Blade, is an MMO that is currently available in Asia. Very popular. Millions of people playing it. Well, guess what, buddy? It is coming to the United States. It is coming to Europe. And it is coming January 19th, 2016. Available at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What?
Oh
Who
my
does
god.
I can't wait that long.
Set your alarm clocks.
I can't wait that long. I'm gonna have to try to play it in Asia.
You're going to Asia.
We're going to Korea.
PRESSURECAST is coming to Korea.
This week on the PRESSURECAST, we have not slept in days.
They won't let us pass customs.
But this ramen is delicious.
We just got across the DMZ, and everything's going to be so good.
DBZ.
Okay. Doot doot. Hotline Miami 2. Wrong number. Was it a great game? We'll talk about that at some point. But either way, you will be getting yourself a level editor for the PlayStation. Wrong. Not PlayStation. Not Vita. It's not coming to consoles. This level editor is going to be exclusive to the PC, Mac, and Linux versions. I just say Windows. I just say PC.
Can we say Mario Maker Killer?
Yeah, we could say that. Here's the thing: the beta is going to start in December, and then the game's going to launch. The actual game's going to launch at some point in February or whatever. But there's no confirmation that your stages are going to cross over to the full release, so don't get too attached to them. I'm very excited for this news. Did you guys play a lot of Hotline Miami 2?
Yeah, I played through half of it. I love the first game. I didn't really get into the second one as much.
Love the music though, man. Woo.
I think I gave it a 7.5. I reviewed it.
I think the problem with Hotline Miami, it's a difficult game, but I felt like it ramped up in difficulty. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. Like, I sound fine in my headphones. I'm not sure what's going on.
I sound fine in my headphones.
Anyway, the difficulty, it was tough, but it ramped up nicely. Whereas Hotline Miami 2, it felt like it was like "fuck you" from the opening moments, which was kind of.
It's because
fuck you, Steve.
It's because of the no more audio spikes, Justin.
Okay, sorry.
Because the stages are too big.
So
level editors, the first thing I would do is I just make the stages from Hotline Miami 1 because they're real good. Did you ever watch the documentary on it?
On Hotline Miami? No.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's amazing. It's about how they made the game, and those guys are hella depressed.
I hope it's not too long because I don't want to waste a lot of time watching this documentary.
It's 30 minutes, and it's high production, and they interview people that made the music and stuff. It's crazy.
They seem like weird guys. Like, I've seen an interview with one of the devs, and then it was like at E3 like 4 or 5 years ago or something, and like some guy from Destructoid was there, and they weren't actually in E3. They just had like an Airstream full of beer, and they just hung out in the Airstream. And the guy from Devolver Digital looked like Klaus Kinski, and it was weird.
Yeah, they were drinking PBRs and smoking the whole time. Yeah. I remember that. That was 2012 or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was really funny though.
Pabst Blue Ribbon? Anybody?
Doot doot.
Frank Booth.
Star Wars Battlefront. Will it get a sequel? According to the CFO of EA, Blake Jorgensen. Our goal is to make future Battlefront games, as well as other style games, around the Star Wars franchise. And that's across mobile, PC, and console. Why does he say this? Because they've got a 10-year deal with Disney to make those Star Wars games. Look out, everybody.
Basically, anything they can put Star Wars on is going to sell like hotcakes coming this winter, huh, guys?
Yeah, prepare yourself, you dumb dorks. Doot doot! Also announced that they are working on some sort of Assassin's Creed-esque title over at Electronic Arts. Blake, let me hear it from you. Blake Jorgensen in the house. We've never really operated in the largest genre of gaming, and that's the action genre.
The Assassin's Creed genre.
That's the Assassin's Creed style games. More open world, more single player versus multiplayer. It's not been an area that we've operated in. Mercenaries, dude. We recently
made that one.
Jade Raymond, who is behind the Assassin's Creed franchise for Ubisoft, and she will be building an action genre for us through a studio we've been building in Montreal. So it looks like they built the studio around her.
Hey, a woman.
I have a question. Based on what I've read about the new Mirror's Edge game, doesn't it play a lot like a first-person Assassin's Creed?
Maybe. It doesn't. It sounds like a pretty, as I would say, constrained open world. I don't know.
I like the parkour element.
We don't need more Assassin's Creed. Do something different, man.
No, I would love an Assassin's Creed that was actually good. Like, those games are boring as fuck. I'm serious.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I love history. And
I don't know if EA's the company to do it.
No, they're pretty good at making games accessible.
Well, let's give this Jade girl a chance, huh, guys? If it's shitty, we just won't play. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Doot doot. Ronda Rousey is your cover athlete for UFC 2, which will be released on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in 2016. It's going to be better than a knee to the face.
It's UFC 2 curse.
Now all you snarky nerds can talk about, oh, she lost, she shouldn't be on the cover.
Just make fun of Ronda Rousey. Let's see what happens if
she's going to kick Holly Holmes' ass next time, guys. Come on.
She can kick anybody listening to this ass. I don't care who you are. You're going to get your ass beat by Ronda Rousey. That's not...
Well, what about Matty West? He might be a big fighter.
Yeah, he might be. Doot doot! Telltale has announced that there will be a second season for Game of Thrones.
What? Who watches that?
Doot doot!
Watch it, Steve.
Zombie, the game that was originally a launch title for the Wii U, was released digitally on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's actually now going to be getting a physical release according to a listing in Australia and Taiwan. No exact release date. Oh, I'm sorry, January 21st, 2016. That's a day before my birthday.
Oh.
January 15th.
Doot doot. There was a game called Interceptor. Originally, it was a Duke Nukem game, and then it changed to have this weird protagonist. I'm not sure what her deal is. She looks like Skrillex or whatever. Well, it was supposed to be released.
Huh. Female protagonist.
It was supposed to be released in December. Well, guess what? Now they've delayed it to January 29th, 2016. That's 7 days after
They're
my
like,
birthday.
all the cool kids are delaying things. Why don't we delay ours, too?
Unfortunately and honestly, the game isn't entirely bug-free at this point, and our first instinct will be to get this puppy out the door, and that we could fix the remaining issues with a quick patch after launch. But within 10 seconds, we realized that's no way to treat paying fans for our games. This game was originally developed by 3D Realms, the kings of knowing how to treat their fans.
Yeah. So within 10 seconds, the game starts acting up. Is that what you said?
Well, and the other thing here is you're telling me that 3D Realms developed a game that has been delayed significantly and is buggy.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never heard of anything like that. That's wild.
All right, Steve.
That's wild stuff.
Mr. Snarky guy
I
here.
don't know what he's talking about.
Doot doot. Doot doot.
Doot doot.
Afro Samurai 2 has been canceled. How can a game be canceled when it's already been released? Well, you got to keep in mind there's only episode 1, episode 2, and 3 were about to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, Versus Evil, the developer, released a statement over to somebody. I don't know. CGM Magazine. Here's what they had to say. We could not do in good conscience Volume 2 and 3, so we've begun the process. It's been a long process to figure out because Sony has never really had to do it in this way, but we're returning all the money. So across the board, we're putting out an apology saying sorry about this. I'm just going to say it. Good on them. Good on them.
Did you play the first one? Did you do a video on it?
No.
Okay, because everything I've read about it, it actually makes me want to play it more.
Exactly. That's where I was, too.
I'm just like, whoa, like I need to download this.
Great music.
Is it really?
Yeah,
The game or the show?
In the show. I assume the game has the same music.
The best part is not only is it like functionally broken as a video game, but I guess it has nothing to do with Afro Samurai, which I'm not that familiar with. Like it's about some side character or something.
So it's not Samuel L. Jackson's Afro protagonist?
No. Well, I mean, maybe.
I'm overusing that word today, guys.
Protagonist.
Afro.
Did you notice if you're listening right now, you can't. We're all wearing different shades of green. We have like a aesthetic
50
here.
Shades of Green.
And you could say we had a little bit of green before he got here today.
Those are drug reference.
One of these
Money.
weeks, right? No,
Oh,
I'm just
what?
kidding,
Money.
guys.
Yeah, we burn money and smoke it.
Speaking of money, doot doot. Bubsy.
Bubsy.
You remember Bubsy?
Totally nuts. Bubsy.
What could possibly go wrong?
Damn it, that was going to be my line. Okay. it
Really?
doesn't
Were you
matter.
really gonna do that?
I know. The thing about Bubsy is it was a game that was on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. They had Bubsy 1 and 2, and then there was a re-release of 2 on like the Sega CD.
And you are forgetting the completely original Bubsy game on the Atari Jaguar.
And the
That's what I meant to
animated
say.
series.
And
which, by the way, if you ever want to play that, you're welcome to come over and play.
Oh, thank you. And Bubsy 3D. Do not forget about Bubsy 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
own it.
guys, my favorite part, Bubsy is a cat, right? And in the game, you get 9 lives.
What?
Yep.
That's crazy.
And you die a lot.
Bubsy games are very, very not good.
I liked Bubsy 1 when I was a kid. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was super cool.
I think like Bubsy would be okay as like more of like an open environment Sonic game, except it's got the problem where you die in one hit. So you get all this speed going, but it's not like Sonic where you lose the rings and can collect them.
You're
and
gonna
keep
need
going.
Oh, and he
lives.
just stops in place and just like waves. He's like, I'm dead.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh shit, like, I don't even know what happened.
Retroism, they're a studio apparently, and they have actually acquired the license to Bubsy 1 and 2 and will be releasing it as Twofer on Steam Greenlight. So you better greenlight that, guys. We need
Twofer.
that Bubsy.
Oh god, you know what? I would say for the sake of preservation, if you got the license to every single Bubsy game.
Yeah, what are they gonna do, like Mega Man Collection?
Yeah, if you did Bubsy Collection, because you know what, we always talk about collections for games that we love or whatever, but Bubsy it's an important cultural historical thing.
I
It's
don't know
like
about
this
that.
weird like Sonic spin-off like
Justin has an opinion. Hold
90s.
on.
Hold on, I got a great opinion
Wait,
about
what,
this.
what are you, more of an Arrow the Acrobat guy?
No,
Dude,
I'm glad
Awesome
that
Possum.
they got like
Who's
9
the
sequels
Kamikaze
and
Squirrel?
That's Zero the Kamikaze
Thank
Squirrel.
you.
How the hell did they get an animated series out of Bubsy? That's what I want to know.
Mhm.
I thought they only got a pilot.
That's
No, there's a lot of
couple. Oh yeah, there's a lot of
episodes,
episodes. That's what I'm saying. Like if you collect all the Bubsy games and the animated series and you have a bunch of arts and production stuff and you put it in a package like Mega Man Collection and you put that out there, I would greenlight that for the sake of historical
But you
preservation.
wouldn't buy it, and no one else would buy it.
But I would not pay $9.99 for 2 dog shit games. Like
I'd pay
Bubsy 1 and
$9.99
2.
for that collection you were just describing.
This game's gonna end up in the Library
No.
of Congress.
All this game is. Oh, I just spiked
Library.
really hard. I'm so sorry. all this game is going to do is it's just going to be fodder for people like the Game Grumps to go, oh, it's dumb. Like, we don't already know that.
I hate when just you have two jackasses playing a game on camera. It's like the worst, most.
Oh, I know who does.
Luckily,
that?
there's 3 of us.
YouTube.com/.
Anyway,
Justin and Colin, my friend.
Dude,
New
guys,
episode up.
We have to hurry up because we got to jump off the train soon. So let's talk about the games that are being released this
Roscoe's
week.
coming.
Nothing is being released in stores this week. Nothing is being released in stores this week. Digital only. Here we go. Beyond Two Souls. We already talked about that. That's available on Tuesday. Teslagrad, already released on the PlayStation 4 and PC. Now coming to Vita this Tuesday. Teslagrad's a pretty legit game. I actually really enjoyed it.
Isn't it Wii U too?
Who cares?
You too?
Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, released a long time ago, but it's finally getting its digital release.
Thank God.
And EU Senkei, The World Conquest, which is referred to as a sexy and adult JRPG.
Wait, sexy and adult?
On Vita, maybe?
On Vita, PS3, and PC. It'll only be $40, which means I'm not covering that.
No.
Bye, Roscoe.
Hope they're using the touchscreen on that one.
Jump, guys. Oh, we're late. We're still on the...
Stop overdriving.
We're still on the train. Let's get off the train.
That's going to do it for the Hype Train, guys. We've got more coming up, including the Games of the Week, the Chart Park, Idiot of the Week, Strong History, so much to get to. So please, stay tuned after this. On today's episode of iTunes 5 Stars, Boku cannot stop Dell from consuming robot number 71.
Come on. Stop consuming that robot.
No, I'm consuming the robot to reach my perfect form, Boku. What?
One day I'll come for you, Bell. Damn it. Fuck.
No, now I'm the perfect Bell. Dell, that is what I am now, Boku, and I'm going to shoot the biggest laser beam at you out of my fist.
My son Bohan will save me.
Oh, you're not going to do anything because you only have 4 stars on iTunes for the PRESSURECAST.
We need more stars, guys.
Yes.
If I want to make this spirit bomb, all of our pressure pals have to save us.
You really think that anyone will take their time to give you a 5-star and written review because that's the only way it really counts on iTunes, by the way? You think someone's going to do that, Boku?
Well, they took the trouble of making bad reviews.
I'm here too now, guys.
Who are you?
I'm Vegeta.
Vegeta's here.
And I just wrote a 5-star review on iTunes for the PRESSURECAST, and I will become the Prince of all Monkey Men.
Wow, cut his hair, guys. That's where his power comes from.
Get away from my haircut. Get away from my haircut.
Why don't we join forces and fight Bell?
The only way is if we do a fusion, but we can't fuse, and we can't do it unless you go to the iTunes and give us 5 stars for a review on PRESSURECAST. Please just do it. That is the end of the commercial. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Guys, I think it's time to discuss the interactive entertainments we've been engaged in for the past several days, and a little segment I like to call the games of the week. Guys,
Colin,
I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront on the PlayStation 4. So wait,
it's got all the songs and the laser beams and the forces and the stars.
Yeah. So
does it start at the end of the 4th movie?
It takes place in the original trilogy. There is nothing from the prequels at all. This is all about being just like those original 3 films. It's got the grittiness of those films. It's got the exact same kind of, the stormtroopers. It's got the way that the rebels looked. Everything is nailed down to a T. If you're looking for something that completely replicates the original trilogy in a what do you don't call this an arena shooter, but some sort of tactical shooter, I guess, because it plays a lot like Battlefield in some ways. Basically, there's like a conquest mode where you have to stand on something until it turns blue, and then make sure everything's blue. But another team could show up.
Capture the flag style?
Yeah, they could stand there and turn it red. There's also a capture the flag style version,
okay,
where everyone starts off with having 5 points, and you progressively lose or gain your points. Based off
Darth Vader stole my points.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of different modes, like where you have to hack a droid. It's all the basic things that you expect out of a first-person shooter. There's modes where you can end up just flying the ships. You just want to fly the ships in the air? Cool, you can do that.
That sounds okay. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
sounds
like
okay.
chips.
It sounds okay. And then there's also hero battle mode because throughout the game you actually can unlock characters like Darth Vader. You get to play as him and kill a bunch of people. But there's a mode where you just start off as the heroes and heroes battle heroes. And that's it.
It sounds pretty.
That was it.
Colin, I have a question for you.
That's all the game. There's
no questions.
What else you could ask?
Yeah, I didn't think there was that much there.
Okay.
As someone who despises online multiplayer shooters that aren't named Splatoon, is there anything for me here? Anything at all?
Sure. Actually, you might get more of this. You might get more out of this game than other games because it's not that difficult. It's very easy to get into.
Is there a single player mode or is it all multiplayer?
There is a single player mode, but it's not a campaign. It's just basically fighting a bunch of stuff, kind of like a horde mode. There's a couple of different single player modes.
Okay.
Here's the thing, and this game is not EA's fault. This is not their fault. They did everything they could to perfectly replicate the Star Wars experience. There's nothing wrong with it. It is exactly Star Wars. Every problem this game has is because of Star Wars. Let me break this down for you. You unlock different blasters, grenades, and special abilities, but they're all rooted in the Star Wars universe. In other words, you get a blaster that is pretty good with long range and it shoots red lasers, or you get one that's like really fast and it shoots red lasers, or you get something that's like whatever. You might be saying, well, who cares? It's bullets.
Wait, what
right?
about lightsabers?
Lightsabers are only unlocked through the heroes. You don't get one of those because these are grunts. These are not Jedis and Siths that are in here. So the problem becomes that because there's such little variety in the actual guns in a Star Wars game, keep in mind, they do not want to talk about the prequels. And I assume that that's a Disney mandate that has nothing to do with Electronic Arts. I'm sure that they were like,
Can we just forget these prequels?
can we forget the prequels? And it's like, well, what about the single-player campaign? Well, what do? Do we retell the original trilogy or do we talk about the new movie? And Disney's like, you're not getting this fucking script. You know what I mean? There's no way that they would allow that because they've seen how many leaks come out of video games. Disney is on lockdown there. So what you have are just all these blasters that are very similar. And because of that, you unlock a blaster. And then like 4 blasters later, you unlock one that's better than it. It's not different. It's better. It's decisively better. And that's a real problem because games like Call of Duty, you can have a gun that maybe isn't that good, but you can unlock a scope for it, or maybe it's really good with a silencer, or maybe it's really good with like a different grip on it. You can always enhance your weapons. Whereas here, this is the blaster, that's it. Oh, here's a different grenade. Or you can unlock these star cards where it's like, oh, it'll make your shooting more steady, which are limited run, and then you have to acquire more. And that's about it. That's really the problem with this game is it's not so much that there's a lack of depth or anything like that. It's that it's so beholden to the Star Wars franchise that it can't actually do anything interesting. Because at the end of the day, everything you'll see in this game, you have seen for the past 30 years from the films.
Rogue Squadron 2, maybe?
Well, yeah, but that's just it, is that, if this was an adventure game, that'd be a different story. And Rogue Squadron.
Game's great.
Rogue Squadron isn't really... I mean, it's fun, but it's not very deep.
No.
It's just about reliving the experience. So when you're going to have an online multiplayer game, because everybody said, we want our Battlefront. Well, guess what, guys? They're not making Battlefront with Lucas anymore. They're making Battlefront with Disney, and Disney will not allow them to do certain things. That is the truth of the matter. So I don't blame EA at all. They have perfectly replicated the Star Wars universe, but the thing is, Star Wars universe, from the perspective of a grunt just shooting at each other, is pretty boring. Even if they do have AT-ATs running around, even if they do have these giant walkers.
Are there Ewoks?
No, I didn't see any Ewoks.
Jar Jar Binks?
You got your Hoth.
Qui-Gon Jinn?
You got Hoth. You got no prequels. You got Hoth.
Horse-face guy?
You got Endor. You got, I don't know, 2 other stages. They're all very beautiful. This game is gorgeous. It's stunning. It is some of the best graphics of the year. Yes, it's 900p. That really doesn't matter. Pretty damn good frame rate overall. And but the problem,
So you got Hoth.
Yeah, which is all just white stuff.
Got Endor.
Yeah.
Green stuff.
Dantooine?
Dantooine is not in there, but
that's
Tatooine
the one that gets blown up, right? Dantooine?
No.
What's the planet that gets blown up? It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, guys.
Tatooine is in there, and then some other thing, and then like the other smaller modes like Capture the Flag just take place in random parts of that map, like big hallways and stuff. It's not their fault. What else could they have done?
Well, I do have one question. You mentioned like how the weapons sort of scale upwards, like you go from blaster to better blaster.
And you can also pick up special items like, oh, I'm going to create a bubble shield, or I'm going to fly a ship. You have ship.
Sure.
You unlock you pick up a ship, and then you just teleport to it.
It seems like arena-based shooters work best when there isn't a clear hierarchy of weapons, but it's like depending on your play style and what you do.
Which is why Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's one thing. Even though I mean everybody who listens to the show knows that I'm not the biggest Call of Duty guy, but
Black Ops 3.
I have always respected.
You
Especially
played
Black Ops
Ghost. Don't play Ghost.
No,
damn it.
I played. I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare or something. I played Black Ops 1 and 2, and I played.
SOCOM 2.
That's when that division just gets tired. It's Call of Duty something. Fuck
and
you.
Ghost time. Ghost was awful, but in Black Ops 2, I really appreciated just how none of the guns felt like overpowered. It was just like, what do you want to do? And based on how your playstyle
Can
works,
you adapt to this gun?
What do you wanna
And
do?
here it just becomes a case of like, and it happens very early on where it's like, this is a medium range gun, and this is another medium range gun that is improved in every way that matters. Nothing
so
lessens.
you can't win. It's not about you. It's about
The range never changes, the damage goes up, and the cool rate goes up because there's actually no reloading in the game, which is actually pretty cool. Another problem I have is a lot of small interface issues. I can never tell which side I'm on when I start the game. It's
that's
one of
weird.
it's one of those things where you take it for granted. I'm thinking back, I have no idea how Call of Duty does
Is there
it.
friendly fire in there?
That you can't hurt the people, but you can shoot them. Like they get hit with, if you throw a grenade, it'll bounce off of them, which is kind of obnoxious, honestly. But it's really funny because Call of Duty, I have no idea how I can tell the difference between a friend and a foe. I have no idea how I do it, but I do it automatically. That's how good it is. And then when I play something like this, it's like I'm starting off. I'm looking at the guy's wrist to see if he has white around there because I know he's a stormtrooper. It's really
They're not wearing the armor? You're not like, oh, that guy's wearing the armor. He's an enemy.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's absolutely everything that you could want. Not everything you could want. Okay, weird technical issue aside, that probably just scared half of the audience, more than half of the audience, probably 100% of the audience. So it's everything that they could possibly bring out of this franchise to this type of game. And everyone goes, well, what about space battles? What they flew into space? It would just be as empty. There's not much you can do. As soon as you add things like scopes to lasers, they're gonna be like, well, that's not authentic. We're not putting that in there. It has to be exactly like the movies. God damn it! What are they gonna do? They can't win.
I don't know. Where's my VAT system? Where's my crafting system?
You dumbass.
Where's my perk system?
All right. Well, enough about games that have absolutely like nothing in them. I need to talk about Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. This contains a mode where you play regular tennis.
Okay.
A mode where there's like flashing things on the screen, like
Slow down.
so you can hit the A button or the Y button to do like a smash attack. And then there's a third mode where you can pick up mushrooms. And it's the same thing. It's just built on top of each other. And then there's one where you hit this big ball and it's a little bit slower, and the first person to miss loses. And you can play 3 of those modes online.
So
Wait. You're hitting a ball back and forth with another player, and if you miss, you lose. Isn't that just called tennis?
Yeah, but you only get one shot. You got to do your
You
best.
only get one shot.
Yeah.
So do not miss your chance to float.
No, don't.
As opportunity comes.
I don't know if you guys liked
Once in a
tennis
lifetime.
before, but if you like tennis now, you could probably play this game and have fun, right, Colin?
This sounds really bare bones. Isn't there only like one court as well?
There's a bunch of different courts actually,
Oh.
but that's it. That's the whole game right there, and you can play online with people, and there's really not much else. And
Waluigi?
That's it.
You got Waluigi as a playable character?
Waluigi is a defensive player. He's actually pretty good in the game.
Good. I'd play as Waluigi.
How would you?
There's not much to do. That's it. It's just another tennis game. They even got rid of the training modes, which were my favorite part of the Mario Tennis game. Remember we had to
The
fight the
rings
wall
and shit and the wall. And, yeah.
Is Wario a power top in that game, or is he a power bottom?
Okay. Justin, what did you play this week?
I was playing more Fallout 4. Me and Steve can go into that a little bit if
You guys go nuts.
want.
Talk about it. I gotta
Let's
look at something.
Okay.
You can start.
I hate to. I feel like I'm being overly negative on this show. I will say, yesterday I played Fallout 4 for like 10 or 12 hours. I played a lot of Fallout 4.
So you
Probably even
do
more than
like this game then?
Well, I'm playing a lot of it. I don't know if that means that I like it. I guess my biggest problem with Fallout 4, I had a friend text me the other day and he was just like, hey, I've got a little extra cash. I was thinking about buying Fallout 4. Should I? And I said, you know what? Wait, or just buy New Vegas, because at the end of the day, like I've played, I'm at level 16, level 17
What are
now.
you playing
I'm
this
at
on?
level 22
PlayStation
myself.
4,
What was he gonna get it on?
PC.
Wait, was he like, should I get Battlefront or should I get Fallout 4?
No,
Oh,
it wasn't that
Jesus.
question. It was just like in general. But the thing is like there is nothing functionally different about this game when compared to New Vegas and Fallout 3. And I also feel like in a lot of ways, I don't like it as much.
Well, here's the stupid thing for me to say here. It feels like there's just no warmth in the game. Like there's no real characters.
No.
Don't care about anybody.
Oh, I think the characters and the dialogue are fine. I think the voice acting is just horrendous.
Yeah,
It's
well,
so inconsistent. There's some voice actors that are fantastic, and there's other ones where it's like, I don't know, he's a programmer, put him in the game.
I have some serious issues with the dialogue that start with the fact that like before in Fallout you had like full, like more fleshed out dialogue choices to go through.
Right.
In this one, I've got a charisma build, and it's not particularly fulfilling. And also, a lot of the time, you have 4 choices for dialogue. And I've had a lot of issues with bugs where I have to restart conversations with characters.
Right.
And I've noticed that, like, all of the choices result in the same thing. Like, there's always one that says sarcastic, whatever that means. I don't know what I'm going to say.
Oh, no, they don't know what sarcastic means either. Where
Yeah,
it's like,
I don't.
sarcastic is like, fuck you, asshole. What is that? That's
Exactly.
not sarcastic.
Well, and a lot of times, too, it's just like, I don't understand why it pops. I guess I understand why it pops as a choice, but it's just like a woman's like, oh, I'm so sorry, your son has been stolen, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you can choose sarcastic and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, your face looks like butt cheese, loser. Like,
That's funny, though.
but other than that, there's like sarcastic and then 3 generic responses. That's almost everything. And the dialogue that you get in return is almost universally the same. And on top of that, your companions, they can't die, which I guess is cool. Only
I love
because
that. That's great.
It is.
That's
kinda cool.
nice.
That dog would be so dead. I mean, I see his hind legs getting broken numerous times. I'm like, hell yeah, dog.
No, and that's important. But I also feel like the AI is generally rather dumb.
Oh, it's
especially
bad.
the dog, always getting in my way. And the menu system is so nebulous. And people always talk about, they're like, well, you know, I like games that don't hold my hand. And that kind of gets thrown around in a shitty way, because what you're really saying is you like games that organically show you how to do things and aren't just like telling you exactly
You mean
what
they're
to
like
do.
intuitive or something?
Yeah.
Or?
So Fallout is needlessly obtuse. Needlessly obtuse.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's true. But let's be honest here, guys. If it wasn't called Fallout 4, I think we'd be a little bit higher on this game.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If this was some other
It's not
developer,
that I'm not high on it. It's just very repetitive.
you'd be like, yeah, there's some glitches, but man, there's a huge world and there's so much you can do.
I do,
know?
and even the glitches, like they don't bother me that much. That's not my biggest issue with the game, and I do have higher standards for Fallout. But at the end of the day, and I was going to talk to you about this too, I'm sort of like, I'm almost fatigued on this style of AAA game.
Dude, you just got it. You're over encumbered. Just like to remove.
Yeah,
some
get
stuff.
rid of some items. You're not able to move as quickly when you have that many items.
I want to play a big AAA game that isn't just an open world collectathon.
You should check
I
out The
can't
Witcher,
anymore.
dude.
I want to play The Witcher.
Yeah,
I
dude,
wanna
there's
play more
a
Witcher.
huge
The
world.
collectathon part gets pretty old.
And you collect a lot of flowers and
no.
there's dialogue trees and everything. You know what's the best open world game so far? Fucking Metal Gear, because it's like,
Yep.
hey, you want to pick up this mineral? Sure. Guess what? It's already been teleported back to the base. You don't have to worry about that. And when you get back, if you use those resources efficiently, you know what you get? A fucking gun.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
The weight limit's pretty stupid. I do kind of.
Did you get Metal Gear yet, Justin?
No.
You should probably play that.
Get Metal Gear.
I will. I'm
It's
gonna
good.
like it a
It's
lot
fun.
better. Fallout 4 is really addictive, but that doesn't mean it's a good game.
Oh,
right, fellas?
you ain't
Well,
seen.
and in terms of
nothing.
like what I can do with my character in Fallout 4, I really feel like Skyrim was more robust.
I
Like,
don't. You said this, and I don't know.
I'm
man.
trying to play as a stealth character. It is impossible. The charisma build is like not fulfilling in any way, shape,
The
or form.
charisma
and
parts
the
are overrated.
stealth
Yeah, they're
is
useless.
dog shit, because even when I sneak effectively, most of the weapons aren't good for playing stealthily.
Yeah.
And on top of that, your companions are dumbasses, so I'll be sneaking around, and dog meat's like, cool, I'm going to go fucking barrel roll into a bunch of mines.
Detected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The game is. I think it's okay.
You gotta play
It's
it more,
good.
Colin.
Hey,
bored
you know
of
what
it.
I've been
Even-
playing? That's I've been using this as like my palate cleanser for Fallout 4.
Yeah, what's that?
It's called Emily's Away. Have you heard of this before?
No.
Okay, so
I've probably never heard of this.
It's like a text adventure,
You probably
but
never
you
heard of
have like a Windows XP desktop as the background.
Oh, I've heard of this.
And you're
I did hear
like
about that.
you're like doing a chat, like it's AOL Instant Messenger but a game, and it follows this like it's like this kind of like love
Why
story
would I
thing.
want to play that? I
It's
can
really
just do
cool.
it. I can play AOL Instant
I have a
Messenger.
friend named
I
Emily.
have a feeling that if
Yeah.
you booted up AOL Instant Messenger right now, I don't think most of your friends list would be online.
Smarter
I
Bot
don't
might be on there
know.
still.
Can you still do that? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Smarter
can.
Child.
Smarter Child, yeah.
ASL, Justin. ASL.
But like seriously,
11.
like, somebody needs to look into
WI.
this.
You're not working for Dateline
somehow, if I remembered my Instant Messenger screen name and password, would my friends list still be there? Like,
Yeah.
does it exist? Like,
Yeah. You'll never escape what you've done.
Do you think
Okay.
the police that are pretending to be kids to lure you into their trap are still on there?
maybe did you have a lot of cops trying to lure you into their traps?
No,
Yeah.
but I was just always suspicious after watching Dateline.
Yeah, I know they keep trying to trick you.
I like how
yeah,
you
I like
thought
toys.
everybody was a cop and not a child molester. Why would that? Are you talking about like?
Were they one or the other? How can you tell the difference? They have to wear like a white bracelet, like Colin was saying.
What? I never said anything about white bracelets.
In Battlefront, you did.
But anyway, so Fallout 4, but Emily's Away, really good. If you like text-based adventure stuff, especially if you played Her Story earlier this year, you enjoyed that, you'll like this game.
Why's it gotta be her story? Why can't it be everyone's story?
Why is it gotta
Hashtag
be a
everybody's
story?
story matters.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
All right, guys. I think they'll do it for the
I
games
don't have
of the week.
anything
What
else.
about
to say.
Rodeo Sky Soldier again?
No, that was 2 weeks ago. We're never gonna talk
No,
about
you can't stop playing
Never
it.
gonna
Right?
talk about that game. The
You're
game is
very-
awful.
Colin's favorite game. Guys, if you want to, go ahead and hop on Amazon.com, buy Colin a copy of Rodeo Sky Soldier and
Sky-
send it
Sky
send it to
Scolder?
him. Sky Scolder.
You're bad.
Get out of the sky, you bad.
I don't know.
Awesome, guys. It is. This has been fun, and I know it's getting cold outside, but I know a place that's warm with the glow of cold hard cash.
Burning
That's
money?
right. We're going over to the Chart Park, the land where money grows on trees. Yes, the Chart Park. This is the part of the show where we discuss all the business, legal, and financial news and find out which fat cats of Wall Street will tip their top hats towards Lady Luck. Kicking it off with
Hello.
YouTube, not my tube, your tube. And it's becoming your tube more and more as the day goes on because YouTube has finally created what they refer to as the fair use policy. Previously, they've said that they have fair use. They even had a video about fair use that had the happy animal friends, or whatever they call them. And yet, people are getting their videos taken out by erroneous copyright claims simply because, well, for instance, Super Bunny Hop, remember this, he made that video that was all about Kojima and Konami, and it used video, or used footage of the Phantom Pain, and Konami said, yeah, we don't want you to use footage of our game. Isn't that funny? Because you're
That's
talking
fair
about
use.
us? No, you're talking about it, so it's not
Oh.
fair use anymore. Same things for Jim Sterling, where random indie developers be like, hey, can you not show people that our game is fucking garbage?
Which is hilarious because the whole purpose of fair use is for parody and criticism.
Yeah.
Like, what?
and
God
so,
damn.
And you have the perfect medium for it on
well,
YouTube.
it's rather unfortunate, but now this is what's cool about it. YouTube says, no, we're going to defend you. Here's the thing. We are going to start refusing to take down some of these videos. We're going to start approving it firsthand. And secondly, if they decide, fine, we'll take you to court, we will back you up to $1 million for legal fees, which is bonkers because this
That's
is not...
nothing to them, dude.
No, this is not to... They're not planning on shelling out millions upon millions of dollars. They're basically saying, stop fucking trying to do copyright strikes. We have $1 million to back this dude.
There's a few caveats though, which I think we need to mention. 'cause-
United States only.
Well, yeah, U.S.
Oh,
only.
bother.
Second, they're sort of piloting this concept with like 4 or 5 big YouTube creators who have had issues. Jim Sterling is one of them. Jim Sterling is actually the only video game one out of all the different people.
But he's the guy that got the most bullshit.
Well, he gets a lot of shit. But the problem is, this doesn't, at least in the short term. Long term, it's going to help content creators like you, me, Justin, small guys.
The mic.
I am a content creator.
There you go. Yeah, YouTube.com.
Your WCW video will never get taken down now. does
Never,
it?
ever, ever.
I don't
Millions
like
of dollars. Millions of dollars.
The problem
We'll
is,
see.
the problem is, when our shit's still gonna get yanked down because there's thousands and thousands, probably millions of videos being uploaded to YouTube every single fucking day.
Yeah.
Every minute.
YouTube is not going to look at all of these content claims and be like, oh, this is unfair. You should have been blah blah blah. The real help is going to come when some dumb shit actually tries to take Jim Sterling to court, because then there'll be a legal precedent for saying, fuck you, dumb shits.
I know, and the worst part is I always
Fuck you,
get
dumb
copyright.
shits.
I always get copyright claims for using music on some of the videos, and it's one of those things where it's like, no, this is. At the end of the video, I'm saying like, hey, this is. The whole time I'm playing the game, I'm going, this is good, this is bad, I don't like this, this is what I like, and at the end I say, maybe you should get it, maybe you shouldn't, which I would not call a formal review, but it is definitely me criticizing a game and giving
Yeah.
an
So it's
impression.
pretty much impossible for you to make a Guitar Hero video, huh?
But the worst part is, I question, it's like, are you really the copyright holder, or are you just some scumbag that's claiming you're the copyright holder
eye
to
of the
make the
beholder.
money off of them?
That's the other thing too, and we've talked about this before. If you're out there, you can be anyone. You can be like
You can be anyone, Justin.
Jimbo Smith in Duluth, wherever
Iowa.
Duluth is.
Iowa.
I own Janet Jackson's records. I own the
You
music.
can do
then.
that. It's illegal, but you can still do it, and there'll be no repercussions for it. You can say that you own something that you don't own. You can copyright claim any video under
I
the sun.
own this video.
Oh, cool.
I'm going
this
to copyright
episode of
claim
it.
all of your videos right now. Just 'cause
So,
I can.
in other words, this
You
is
guys are guests right
fantastic news.
it's a good first step.
It's a tremendous first step.
It's a good first step. We're going to see where it goes, because as of right now, they're only protecting like a very small bubble of YouTube elites.
Yes.
But if they expand this program, and specifically if someone is dumb enough to try and take one of these people to court, and there's legal precedent set, if there is a legal precedent set that says, eat shit, you can't do this on YouTube, then the floodgates open
Wait.
and our lives are better.
Colin, you said tremendous. What did that come after on your wheel of words that you use to describe things?
Stupendous.
Okay, go stupendous, tremendous,
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Has
is
anyone
next.
ever used the word
Excellent.
stupendous like seriously?
Excellent
in
is
the last-
higher than that?
No, we're going lower, I thought.
Oh, we're going lower. Okay, then what's the worst one? Cool?
The worst one.
Cool.
You know what?
Let's just keep moving. I'm sorry.
Hey, absolutely. Please shut the fuck up during the podcast, Justin.
Absalom.
This is a podcast. You can't just talk.
Don't talk during the podcast, Justin. Please don't.
I don't want to derail the train.
That's the earlier
Just,
segment,
I'll tell you what,
motherfucker.
Justin, hold your breath and I'll tap you on the shoulder when it's time to talk.
Guys, here's the thing. eBay. We all use eBay to buy third-party hardware that doesn't actually work, and it sucks. Well, Nintendo's getting in on the action because they are now going to have their very own eBay store. Basically, it sells
Hey, wait a second. What's going on with Nintendo?
Basically, yeah, we have people that actually listen to the show. They have no idea what that joke was. Basically, they have a bunch of stuff that they sell in there, like Wiimotes and games. They're basically just retail price. They have a few random refurbished items that are way cheaper, though. Like I saw Super Mario 3D World, 3D Land, 3D World, 3D
Land.
World. That was $30 instead of 60. So,
Oh,
there you
okay.
go. But it's pretty much just that. Good news for Nintendo legally. They actually just won a case against PC Box. I'm sorry. PC Box. This was an issue in the European Union where PC Box was, shipping over these mod carts that allowed people to play stolen software on their 3DSs. And that's actually why they won the case, is they said this has been brought over to the European Union exclusively to be used in pirating games.
So Nintendo just wanted to win something, huh, guys?
However, it's been pointed out in the ruling that this does not at all whatsoever make all mod chips illegal. Only, in this case with that function, it just means, hey, you can't import this anymore, but you could totally import other mod chips. That's fine. So it's not an overall ruling, though Nintendo did, they won something. It was cool.
They won the World Series.
Activision had more advertisements in the United States so far, with 36% of all video game advertisements being from Activision, which is rather impressive. They were followed by EA with 32%, Bethesda with 16%, and then Nintendo with 6.5%. And then a very, 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 very small amount from Sirius Digital Entertainment. They are a mobile publisher. Is it just maybe most of these video game advertisements now appear on ESPN, mostly sports channels? I noticed that.
A lot on ESPN. A lot of primetime network stuff too. I've noticed too, especially
Sure.
with Call of Duty, because I don't have cable and I'm still seeing this shit. And it's on Hulu and it's on YouTube pre-rolls. It's crazy.
You're right, but I mean, like ESPN, it's non-stop.
It's funny too because this obviously directly correlates with who's making money hand over fist right now too.
Disney owns ESPN too.
Oh, does it causate though?
Yep, it causates. Not only does it causate, but it also. Oh man, I don't have another
I had
legal
someone
word.
that literally didn't believe that was a word. Causation. They said that's
Causation?
not a real word. They did
With-
not believe me.
It was,
What?
This is why you
I
don't
hate
argue.
that. You have a fucking piece of technology in your fucking back pocket with all the
They can
knowledge
play
of
Candy
the
Crush
world.
whenever you want,
Yeah.
and you're
Why-
not doing that. You're talking to me.
Just
And you're on
fucking
the
Google that
dictionary
shit. You have a
website?
Google in your back pocket, you fuck.
Why don't you Google Kudo Tsunoda?
Maybe I will.
I don't know how to spell it.
Either way, this is the guy that wears sunglasses and works for Microsoft. You probably have seen him around Xbox events. He used to be the head of Kinect. He also used to be
Woman.
used to be the president of Windows Studios, for all the games across America and Europe, because Phil Spencer got a bump up to become the head of Xbox. He's now leaving
Bump
that
it.
post to become the CVP of Windows App Studios. And basically, he's going to be overwatching things like HoloLens and other devices. Thank you, guys.
Can I just say something unrelated for a second?
Okay.
You know what this kind of reminds me of is you are Joel Hodgson. I am Crow T Robot, and this gentleman here is Tom Servo.
Oh, hi, guys. Welcome to the PRESSURECAST.
Because we're always dancing and stuff. You're kind of stiff, but we're like, oh, we're what are puppets? Yeah, we're puppets. We're
Okay, here we got some good news. Stephen Chang. You know Stephen Chang? Maybe not.
Intimately.
From high school, right?
Studio president of Zynga. Former studio president
high
of
school.
Zynga. Guess what? He's now going over to Warner Brothers. He'll be overseeing their efforts in mobile and home consoles. That's all we know about it right now.
Every week we got to have the who left Zynga, who left Gameloft story.
Yeah.
I think Zynga's problem is management, like financial management. I honestly don't think it's the talent. Like it seems like there's some
The
major
talent?
issues.
I'm the talent.
Well, that's always what
Did he really call himself the talent?
That's what always happens over at video game companies. It's the people that are running the damn place. It's not the employees. They're like, no, we're gonna make shit. Take that. Haha, got you. Now we're out of business. We win.
Well, okay.
We're insane. That's what we do here. We'll go crazy.
We'll pay them. I don't know what they're doing, but they do.
Well, I doubt that EA is going to acquire Zynga anytime soon because they have altered their acquisition strategy, according to, once again, Blake Jorgensen. Here's what he said. They are always looking at potential acquisitions. Our history, obviously, with acquisitions has been spotty at best, so I would say there's an extra level of caution around that. We also believe that we have the ability to do it ourselves in many cases, or hire people to do it.
DIY.
So we're careful about acquisitions, but we're going to continue to look for those opportunities, and having a strong base globally allows us to be able to do that. Good to hear that they're changing that up because they do have a bad reputation with things like Pandemic and Maxis and a number of other prolific studios that
They're probably
Yeah,
overpaying.
they have this like pattern of events that they've perpetuated since the 90s where there's this like up and coming studio. They buy it for a lot of money and they go, oh, nothing's going to change. And then they just like suck the life out of it like a vampire until there's like a withered corpse left.
That's what acquisitions are. Name
Those
any
people are probably getting paid, so who cares?
There's
right?
no acquisition that ever just stays. I mean, we all saw Iron Man 3. Thanks a lot, Disney. You fucked
Well, what
that
about
up.
Rare going to Xbox?
No, they turned out fine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I love Banjo.
Yeah.
Banjo 3E.
Banjo 3?
Banjo.
I think Sony's maybe done a little bit better, and all the various rock stars out there.
What about when Square
are-
bought
are
Enix? That
pretty
was good, right? It's a merger.
There
though,
was
right?
yeah. What?
I mean, would you rather have DMA Designs or Rockstar, whatever geographical location?
I would love
they
to
are?
have Rockstar Spud. That guy, he knows how to wear suits.
He's good.
That's amazing. I think that's the right guy. I don't really watch
Hey,
TNA.
TNA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really watch TNA. We have some news about your Steam winter and fall sales. Rumor is that the fall sale is going to be starting on the 25th and go until December 1st. Rumor is that the winter sale will start on December 22nd and go until January 4th. This is a rumor.
Why are they doing that? I don't get paid till the 1st. What are they trying to do to me?
They know when you get paid.
So, Valve sent a message to Eurogamer claiming that they are altering the way that their Steam sales function. Here's what they said. We'll be highlighting your top games on the front page for 24 to 48 hour spans. It's okay, so far it's the same old. But those products will stay at their most competitive discount before and after being featured. It's not a major change. Bullshit, that's a major change. But it does make the sale a lot more valuable for customers. In other words, your daily deals, your flash sales, those are going away, and it's just going to be, it's always there. Just do it.
Well, what this is it's probably a response to what most people do with Steam sales.
I missed it.
Well, the flash sales are one
man.
thing, but most of the time you look at your wish list, you go, okay, I want this game, this game, and this game. And if you're like, I don't know, you wait until the last day because all the sales come back around again.
Ah, fuck, I missed all of it.
Man, I got a lot of leakage.
I
in
had
my-
a diabetic coma and I missed the whole sale. Fuck.
So now
While
instead
you
of
were
waiting
sleeping.
until the last day, I guess they just want people to just buy it. Whatever.
Well,
you know, when it rains a lot, I get leaking in my basement. I could really use a steam machine to. Okay.
If you're looking for some good discounts, though, you can always go to Green Man Gaming. Everybody loves Green Man Gaming, except for Game Deals on Reddit, which rather famously this week decided to stop listing Green Man Gaming due to some customers received a non-region locked Rest of the World copy of Black Ops 3, others received a Rest of the World Nuketown pre-order DLC, and others received invalid keys. They began questioning, where is Green Man Gaming getting their keys? They're awfully suspicious. To which Green Man Gaming originally stated, here they are, over the past year, we have been repeatedly asked to supply sensitive information regarding contacts between us and publishers, which for legal reasons we simply cannot share, nor should we be expected to. We believe that other retailers featured on Reddit game deals have not been afforded the same level of scrutiny and investigation that we've endured, and ultimately, customers will be missing out on information and deals. They've actually flipped that since then, and have decided to, you spoke, we listened, we know you want great games at great prices, blah, 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 blah. In response to your feedback, you'll be able to see when you can expect the delivery of a key, and number 2, the source of that key.
Don't you just love how Reddit will just hold people to these moral
Yeah,
standards?
even though they have the most like questionable New
Right.
Zealand sites, just fucking flooding it with like, oh look, it's $10 for The Witcher 3.
Yeah, well, didn't Green Man have a big issue?
It was with The Witcher.
3, yeah.
They didn't. Well, they've always been honest. They said, hey, we didn't get our keys from 3D Project Red.
Which is weird because where do keys come from?
The other people buy them and they sell them over there.
And they sell them over there. That seems strange. I don't know.
Well, there are you call them key brokers, which eventually just like get the keys and then send it out to other sources, which is not uncommon. Whereas my problem with the other New Zealand sites is the way they're getting their goddamn keys. Some of the time, as we have seen notoriously, is they are stealing fucking credit cards, purchasing the keys, and quickly flipping them on their goddamn sites. They have unreputable sources right there. So whatever. Green Man Gaming, I've never seen anything that they did that was questionable. So.
I've never had any problems with them.
Fallout 4. Well, we certainly have had our fallout with them.
I'm falling out with that game right now.
Yeah, for good reason. But regardless, according to Superdata, over 1.8 million digital units were sold across all platforms, which means Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Steam.
That's just digital sales, not physical?
It's just digital.
Let's get
Wow,
physical.
that's a lot.
Oh, and by the way, that's just in the first 3 days.
Well, is it like a...
Mine doesn't count, then I bought it after that.
Fantastic. There you go. Friday the 13th was...
Replay.
Steve just keeps bashing his fucking head into the microphone. Are you okay? You hurt? You actually
so
hurt?
loud in my ear.
Oh, you're all good. Oh, yeah, because you had to hear it twice because you heard it.
Yeah, I was like, ding, ding.
Friday the 13th is a crowdsourced game that officially will be made. It reached a goal of $823,704 with over 12,000 backers. There will be no single player, but you'll be able to play online, running away from Jason Voorhees. I'm excited for this.
You create your own map.
That's going to be weird. So, like, are you going to be... Is it just going to be like 5 or 6 people in a lobby, and then they get chased by Jason? So
one player plays as Jason. And he plays the campers.
So it's kind of a... What's the game that everyone stopped playing? Evolve?
No.
But, like, less shooty bang bang and more runaway?
It's about stealth.
Like Left 4 Dead, except for not with as many...
I don't know. Adam Sessler is involved. That's all I need to know.
Okay, I'm in.
Yep, there you go. He knows games. He knows games. October 2016. Yeah, right. We'll see. Good luck there. Unfortunately, not everybody reaches their goal on Kickstarter. Or in the case, not everybody reaches their goal on Fig. Yes, we have our very first failed Kickstarter on Fig. Fig, of course, is the crowdsource thing that allows you to become an actual financial investor if you put enough money into it. Fifth Cell, they are the guys that created Scribblenauts. They were making a game, or trying to make a game, called Anchors in the Drift. All they wanted, $500,000. What happened? Not enough money.
How much do they make?
No.
Turns out that game was just a figment of our imagination.
Is Fig affiliated with Kickstarter, or is it?
No.
Okay, that's probably why. Because you've got like Kickstarter, to a lesser degree, Indiegogo, and then just like every other crowdsourced thing. So part of it was probably visibility. Like no one's gonna see that shit.
The CEO of Fig, Justin Bailey, spoke to
Wait, Justin Bailey?
That's
he's a
yes.
Metroid
code
code?
from Metroid, yeah.
Yes. He might. Well, you know that name is in there because you won a code from Nintendo Power, so who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what he said to Polygon.
Can I read his quote?
No. Sometimes the signal is that fans have always wanted this. Sometimes, for a variety of reasons, it does not resonate. This is going to be the outcome sometimes, and that's okay. The market, which is made up of fans, ultimately decides successes and failures. Oh well.
You do the same voice for all these guys.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Sometimes.
There we are.
Ho, ho, ho. What do you guys think about Brett Ratner?
I don't like him very much.
I don't like him at all. I didn't like that Tower Heist movie
at all.
He
He makes vanilla films that are functional.
Great news, everybody. He's going to be involved in a movie based around Alexei Pajinov's creation of the best game of all time, Tetris. Yes?
Rush Hour 4. Look at all these fucking blocks.
Is Jackie Chan going to be in it?
Beat your boys.
Beat your boys.
Beat your boys.
And Chris Tucker's like,
Also,
Tetris blocks everywhere.
James Packer is involved, his producer friend. And that's basically all we know. If you've never looked up the story behind Tetris, fascinating. Alexei
very
Pajinov.
interesting.
Seriously, Tetris, greatest game of all time.
It was like a Miyamoto kind of story, right? He sees his
if
son
you guys
playing
want
it.
to, there is a wonderful documentary that you can find on the internet. I don't know if you heard of the internet before. It's called The Ecstasy of Order, and it's about these guys and a couple of women who are professional Tetris players. And so part of it is their story, like going to this Tetris competition to see who the greatest Tetris player in the world is, and the other part is this side story about the kid who won the Nintendo World Championships, who's like some video game savant who just like dropped off the face of the earth, and they like find him and bring him in to play Tetris. It's
amazing.
Crazy. Really good. Ecstasy of Order. Watch that shit.
Okay, guys, let's go over to the cursed land of England for the 10 best-selling games in the UK as christened by the Queen. You want the top 10 best-selling
Hello, governor. Is Crumpet Simulator on there?
Number 10 is Halo 5 Guardians. Number 9 is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Number 8 is LEGO Dimensions. Number 7 is Football Manager 2016. Number 6 is Need for Speed. Number 5 is Minecraft Story Mode. Number 4 is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Number 3 is FIFA 16. Number 2 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And number 1, to no one's surprise, is Fallout 4.
Hey, wait a second. Why don't they just combine the Football Manager and FIFA and just have like the best game ever?
Football Manager is just an entirely separate game. Also worth
Combine
noting.
them, put them in the same thing.
Football Manager is just like all the menus from FIFA.
Well, Football Manager actually.
So put in FIFA. Who cares?
Football Manager did better than that. It actually had, what do I want to say here? 81% of its sales were actually digital. So if it doesn't make that big of an impression on there, it's because most
But
people
it's basically just the best franchise mode ever, right?
Oh my God, Justin.
No, it is. It is. Okay, let's keep going here.
Now let's talk about the Cursed Land of Trains with the 10 best-selling games
Yes,
in Japan.
yes.
Justin's favorite. All right, do not yell this time, guys. Do not yell. Number 10 is
shouldn't
God
tell us
Eater
not to.
Resurrection on Vita. Number 9 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the PlayStation 3. Number 8 is Super Mario Maker on Wii U. Number 7 is Yokai Watchbusters, Red Cat Team, White Dog Squad! Okay, there we go, kill it. All right, good. Number 6 is Need for Speed. Number 3 is Disney Magical World 2. Number 4 is Splatoon. Damn, homie, you still on that? Number 3 is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Number 2 is Project Cross Zone 2. And number 1 in Japan is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the PlayStation 4 for the second week in a row because that game is great no matter where you live. I'm telling you guys, the game's great. Now let's talk about the best-selling systems over in Japan. Number 1, PlayStation 4 with 27,311. New 3DS LL with 21,800. Wii U with 17,921. PlayStation Vita with 11,821. New 3DS with 5,264. PlayStation 3 with 1,751. 3DS with 968. PlayStation Vita TV with 680. 3DS LL with 561. And in last place,
Xbox One.
with 524 sales, Xbox One.
That's big numbers for Xbox One.
And that's going to do it for the Chart Park, the Lund Romani Cruise on Trees.
Here's my freestyle rap for this week. We're sitting here playing these games of the weekend. Everybody wants to go to the Chart Park. Everybody wants to play the games at the... Go to the Mart. Go to GameStop. Go to Target now. You can pick up things for cheap.
Is this an advertisement?
Anyway, this is not an advertisement.
I was trying to rap, so I had to come up with words.
Idiot of the Week, Pocket Talk, Strong History, coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Space Ghost, Breck. Okay, and I'm back here on WBW Wrestling with Dick Tassel and Dirty Streets.
Woo! That's right. You dealing with the real one right here. You got the greatest there is. I spent more time writing 5-star reviews on iTunes and written reviews across this nation than you have in the wrestling ring. I don't know.
Let me tell you something, Dick Tassel. You don't know what it's about. Writing a 5-star review for the Pressure Cast. Let me tell you, with your alligator shoes and your private jet, you gotta go on there. You go to Pressure Cast on the iTunes. You give it the 5-star, 5-star, 5 stars.
All right, but it doesn't matter unless you do a written review in United States Slumber Party right over here. Dirty Streets. I'm gonna beat you right in this iTunes Pressure Cast 5-star review. Woo!
Well, you heard it here first, folks. 5-star reviews on Pressure Cast online.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
I'm back in time.
It's time for Big Talk in a Small World. That's right. Time for Pocket Talk.
I'm just a little guy.
Kicking it off, we have Camcord. Camcord? Who's that? Well, this is a startup that's trying to compete with Twitch. What are they going to do? Something that cannot be done anywhere else. iOS capture. That's right. They are actually launching their live streaming service in Korea and Japan. And it'll be the very first one ever to be able to capture iOS devices. Everyone else can capture Android. That's like not that big of a deal. But iOS, very elusive. They're finally doing it.
That's good because the iOS marketplace is big.
I can't hear you. Did you the mic?
I'm sorry. My voice is a little hoarse in the last promo that we
So
just
now you
had.
guys are going to be able to watch me play Candy Crush Saga, huh?
About fucking
All the
time.
time.
I already watched somebody play it on Android, noob.
I'm noob to this.
Up next on Pocket Talk, we
Next
have
on-
Mean Girls.
The
Mean
Tina
Girls,
Fey.
there's going to be a Mean Girls game called Mean Girls Senior Year. According to the description, as you complete with Regina, you will befriend characters from the original movie such as Katie, Janice, Damon, or
Tim Meadows' character.
You will also meet the guy of your dreams, but as with most high school romances, there is drama at every turn.
It's going to be like Mystery Date with Ethan Hawke.
When's Meme Girls coming out where you just say internet jokes that aren't that funny over and over again?
That's what this is gonna be. That's
Look at
exactly
all
what
the
this is gonna
memes.
be.
Look at all the memes here, girls.
That's going to do it for Pocket Talk, everybody. Let's take the mushroom.
Ooh, bad one.
I took the wrong kind, man.
I'm not feeling good, dude. I'm getting cold.
I can taste color.
I have some news regarding stupid people.
Should we sit down for this?
It's time for the idiot of the week. Guys, here's the thing about the idiot of the week. Sometimes it's not necessarily to point out that someone's stupid. It's to point out somebody's stupid for a reason, for a cause. This is not me trying to be mean to you. This is me trying to shake you out of your idiotic state to recognize what you are doing. What am I alluding to? Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to be coming to the Wii U soon. This is something that was already announced a couple weeks ago, but I felt like it needs special attention right now. In this game, you play as a female protagonist, and you can change a number of assets about her. How tall she is, how big she is, and in the Japanese version, how large her breasts are.
Of course.
Now, they're bringing it over to Europe and the United States, and Nintendo of America has said, yeah, we're not going to let you change her breast size, to which the fans have responded, censorship! You're censoring us! You're ruining the original ethereal intention of this project by not allowing us to change her breast size, and she's not wearing as revealing of outfits. Who cares if she's 13?
I was going to say, isn't she like a tween?
13.
But is it okay? One question: is it like 1 through 100 breast size, or is it actual cup sizes?
It like you change it.
It's
it gets
just a
really
slider,
big.
yeah.
It's just a slider, man. I want to go to. I want to know.
Well, I mean, if that's the hill you want to die on, is I need big titties. I'm a 13-year-old.
Oh, I'm sorry. They changed her age to 15 for the Western release, so that makes a difference. That's the other thing. They go, but she's 15 now.
It's been 2 years.
Well, you know what? She's not actually any age at all. She's
not
a
a
video game
girl.
character.
And that's the thing they also point out. It's just fictional. Yes, but they chose to make a 13-year-old sexualized. But they say women have all different types of breast sizes. Guess what? That's not why they put it in there. That's well, yes, even 13-year-olds.
What are they putting in the water these days?
But here's that's the issue is that no, this was never intended to represent the differences in women. It's to allow men to find the size that they want to see. This is not censorship. Right. This is sensibility. And if you know anything about Nintendo and history, you'll recognize that many of the crucifixes that were in the Castlevania games on the NES were removed. You know about Captain Rainbow? I'm sorry, you don't. It never came to the United States because Nintendo said, fuck no, we don't want that here.
They had some, like, Miyamoto worked on some puzzle game that was, like, it had all this, like, religious iconography, and you're like a hell demon, like, pushing boxes around. It was like Sakoban, but with fucking a demon.
Yeah, it was, it's like Sakoban meets, whatever, you collect crosses. I know what you're talking about. God damn it, I forgot the name of that.
We didn't get it because, you know.
Well, they got Binding of Isaac on there. That's pretty progressive, right?
Nintendo, when they are publishing a game, they will refuse certain things. And you know what? Sexualizing a 13-year-old girl, which that is exactly what it is, breasts have a lot of function. They are natural. But for the men that play these games, that's the reason they put it in there. Japan has, and if you say that's not true, my God, look at some of those JRPGs. I have to play them. And it's like
on the Vita, yeah.
I know I said I wasn't going to say the word gross. It's overutilized. This is one case where it's absolutely true. Gross. That's fucking gross.
Epic gross out.
You do not sexualize young girls. That is fucked up. That is.
I like how that's a thing that we have to remind video game culture. It's like,
guys,
by the way, it's not a good idea to sexually fantasize about a child.
But more women own consoles. Maybe it'll all be women like, I want big boobs on this girl because I don't have big boobs. What? I don't understand.
Neither do I, Justin, and that's why people who are upset about Xenoblade Chronicles not allowing the breast slider, you are the idiot. This is about censorship of the week, but the original creator's intention was the blah, blah, blah. Guys, that was for your own good, okay? It's
that was hard for you to tell us.
That's for your own good. Just saying. Like.
Well, I totally agree with those idiots out there, because when I played Yokai Watch for the first time, my first thought was, why isn't there a dong slider for the
really
protagonist?
Play Yokai Watch?
No, I just wanted to make a joke about a young boy's penis.
You son of a bitch! You put my hopes up so much that we could battle our yokais.
Good one, Steve.
Bastard.
As soon as I get paid, I will buy it. But there's no dong slider for the young boy protagonist, right?
No.
God, that's bullshit.
God, that's not the same
such
thing.
Censorship.
You could pretend one of the sliders in the presentation window is a dong slider.
Guys, we have reached our final destination, which is the Strong History Museum.
My favorite thing from White Castle, the dong sliders.
We need to talk about the week that was 10 years. Shut up. We have to talk about the week that was 10 years or more. Here we go. 10 years ago, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time was released on the DS.
Ooh, wow.
I have that.
It's been that long.
I know. Perfect Dark Zero was released on the Xbox 360. Cameo Elements of Power was released on the Xbox 360.
Jesus.
Call of Duty 2 was released on the Xbox 360. And Geometry Wars Retro Evolved was released on the Xbox 360
I do
because
like that.
10 years ago this week, Sunday, so yesterday,
Sunday.
the Xbox 360 was launched 10 years ago this week.
Wow.
11 years ago, World of Warcraft launched on the PC. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that means for 11 years, people have destroyed their lives flying on their dumb little dragons. Stop doing that.
Hey, you can be successful. One of the vice presidents at the company that I work for used to be like in the highest ranked guild or something on World of Warcraft.
And he stopped?
No, she
stopped?
12 years ago, 13 was released on the GameCube, that cell-shaded first-person shooter from Ubisoft. Just worth pointing out.
Yeah. David Duchovny, the game.
Fuck, I forgot that's David Duchovny. I just picked up a copy of that for the Xbox.
Because you love David Duchovny.
It was $5. Oh my god, it was good.
You should play X-Files on the PS2.
Also on the Xbox, Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne was released on the Xbox, which was a rather impressive console port for the time. 13 years ago, BMX XXX launched on the GameCube.
It doesn't have a
I
breast
forgot
slider?
about that. Yeah, there's boobs in that.
The game that Matt
13
Hoffman said, "Take my fucking name off that."
Mm-hmm.
It was a basically Tony Hawk style game with nudity.
Yeah.
It undid him.
Tony Hawk with boobs.
14 years ago, Twisted Metal Small Brawl eked its way onto the PlayStation. A lot of people forget about that. That was just important now. Rez was released on the Dreamcast in
Great
Japan.
game, yeah.
Amazing game. Kind of like Panzer Dragoon, but no one even
Needs
knows.
some music game, kind
No one
of.
even knows what Panzer Dragoon is, which makes you sad. 14 years ago, Simpsons Road Rage was released on the PS2.
Best Simpsons game ever.
That's why I brought it up, because I knew you'd like that. And 14 years ago, the greatest game of all time was released on Dreamcast, Shenmue 2.
Until Shenmue 3 comes out.
Oh my god. Looks like your dong slider just increased when you said Shenmue.
You better believe it.
I think all of ours did.
16 years ago, Unreal Tournament launched on the PC on Windows. Hard P's there where there were none. That's amazing.
Punreal Tournament.
Steve's
You
favorite
didn't have any
game.
P's there.
Steve's favorite game, Turok Rage Wars, released on the Nintendo 64.
Fuck yeah.
Roid Rage.
By the way, if you see the gray cart version of Turok Rage Wars, that's actually super rare, so buy it. It's worth like $100.
And also, lastly, Donkey Kong 64, a truly despicable game, was released on the Nintendo 64 16 years ago this week.
It's got good monkey rap and collect all the things.
17 years ago this week, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was released in the United States, which it didn't really have a definitive release date. It was kind of all over the
Never
place.
heard of it.
It's okay. Also, 17 years ago, the greatest video game console of all time was released in Japan.
Let me guess. WonderSwan.
The Sega Dreamcast. 17 years ago.
WonderSwan too.
The Dreamcast is almost 20 years old. What the fuck's going on, guys? I don't like this.
$99.99 came out.
Oh, this is in Japan, though. It was released in 1998, a year or about 10 months ahead of the United States release. 18 years ago in the United States, Kirby's Dream Land 3. Boop-a-doo.
I'm a tree, and I have eyes, and I blow, and I blow, and I blow, and I blow.
Steve blows.
Okay,
didn't
19
have
years
anything there,
ago. 19 years ago, Virtual Cop 2 was released on the Sega Saturn.
That's back when the Saturn was relevant.
And Christmas Nights into Dreams was released in Japan 19 years ago.
Fun.
20 years ago this week, Marathon 2 was released on the Macintosh, a game that I played a lot of growing up.
Fucking nerd.
Elitist nerd snob.
You leave me alone. I had a power PC. 21 years ago, Donkey Kong Country was released on the Super Nintendo.
Donkey Kong.
For like $80 or something. It was really expensive when it came out.
Also, 21 years ago in Japan, the Sega Saturn was released. Think about that. 21 years. That's a 4-year difference. Wow. Different time. 23 years ago, one of my favorite games. I'll never deny it. It's a great game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I love Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I love 2. Yeah,
that game is made of Christmas magic for me.
Whatever, the Chemical Zone level's bullshit.
Okay, 24 years ago
No,
in
Sonic 2's
America, Final Fantasy II was released on Super Nintendo. Now that was $100.
Ooh,
Right there.
Yeah, it wasn't
Really, man?
expensive.
I never bought these games because somebody else bought them for me.
2.
2 was great.
I
love
know. I
that
hope
game.
it was your parents. hope it was a relative or
the
a family
Candyman
friend.
next door.
Candyman. 27 years ago, Altered Beast was launched on the Genesis in Japan.
Rise from your grave, motherfucker.
Rise from your grave. And Snatcher received its premiere on the PC-88 in Japan. 27 years ago. That's crazy.
Play some Snatcher, man. That's a good game.
And lastly, 29 years ago on the Famicom, aka the NES,
Colin was born.
Ikai Warriors was released.
Kari Warriors.
A truly boring game.
Here, quick question for you guys. Colin, if you were on any system, what would it be?
Dreamcast.
What about you, Steve?
I'm still thinking. I'd be the arcade version of Akari Warriors, which is way better. Because you
That's true.
need the two controllers. No, we can see what I'm doing. The arcade version had like
Looks
two
like you're
controllers.
grabbing boobies.
It's like imagine playing a twin stick shooter with an NES controller. That's what Akari Warriors.
So
was.
basically like playing Smash TV on an NES controller.
Yeah, not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a Smash TV on NES is okay.
If you have two controllers,
If you like NES games. I do.
whatever.
I
Sure.
do.
And at least in emulation, you can set up so you use one analog stick as the D-pad on one controller.
We don't use emulation. We have
I don't even like video games. Let's make this a toaster podcast.
All right, let's put in the toast and
to
say
the most.
this podcast is toast. Steve, where can we reach you on the internet?
You can find me on twitter.com at Steve Cuff. That's at Steve C-U-F-F. That's at Steve
See you friendly face.
We kind of fucked it up. It's been 3 weeks, you know.
The handsomest face in show
It's
business.
been
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been 3 weeks since I was on this podcast.
Steve, we do it when you're not here, too.
Yeah.
Steve. No, we don't. Steve, where? What else you got going on at OptimismVaccine.com?
OptimismVaccine.com. We got a couple of new articles up. We got a bunch of shit coming out for Christmas time. We did a pumpkin themed beer post where we did a power ranking of pumpkin beers.
We talk about this every week.
Yeah.
I know, but listen. It did so well that we're doing a follow-up with shitty Christmas beers. So if you want
gonna be
to
even worse.
watch like four grown
Dude.
men drink 40 beers in one night and then write angrily about them.
Be really careful because pumpkin is lower in alcohol.
Yeah, right,
and,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're going to
Yeah.
get blitzed. It's going to be awful.
I had
Be
the
careful
Samuel
that-
Adams
That
winter one.
lakefront one is like 11% too.
Oh, yeah. That shit will put you on your ass. So if you like beer, if you like video games, if you like movies, these are all things that we talk
If you like
about
Steve
and
Cup.
write about. If you like me, especially. Also, you can go on iTunes and check out the OpFatCast, which is also like anywhere you can get a podcast. So fucking listen to it because I host it.
All right. Justin.
You can find me on this week's episode of the PRESSURECAST.
Good job.
With these two guys, these two jokers. I'm at Twitter. I'm at Justin Engelbart. I don't use that thing at all. I should probably start twitting again, right?
Talk about your damn show.
My show. It's called Justin and Colin are the Game Players. The most recent episode, WCW. It took me, a month to get that baby up?
Yeah.
But now we're going to start cooking with gas. Because we're back, fellas. We're back in a big way. Steve Cuff subscribed. I'm up there now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Wait, one other shout out here.
God damn it.
Hunger Games movie, fellas. Come on.
Thanks,
Katniss
Justin.
is back.
Fantastic. You can reach me on Twitter at Dr. Krychop. That's at Dr. Krychop. You can reach the PRESSURECAST at PRESSURECASTPod. If you go on youtube.com/video games are dumb, this week you will actually see a video about Beyond Two Souls, and beyond that, I'm not sure what's going on. Live dive every single week, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. I'll be playing something. Who knows what it'll be. They'll be live. You can chat with me. I did a new setup there. You're going to like it. You're going to love what you see right there. Beyond that, I don't know. Go to iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Written review. That always helps out. Fellas, thank you so much for being on the show.
As always, happy to be here, man.
Guys,
I don't know
So
what
good
I
to
would
be
do
back.
without you guys.
Yeah.
the breast slider might be dead in the United States.
Ooh.
So our breasts are limited to how far they will go. But don't worry, because the Pressure Cast will go further than that. Because the Pressure Cast is forever.
Under pressure.
PRESSURECAST, weekly video game news podcast, is solely owned and operated by Colin Tanner. Guests of the PRESSURECAST are not employees or freelancers of Colin Tanner, the PRESSURECAST, or VideoGamesAreDumb.com, and are not paid. Music featured on the PRESSURECAST is property of their respective owners, and no infringement is intended. For more information, email pressurecast@gmail.com. Okay, Burn. let's take Wham Wham to the orthodontist to get his head fixed.
Wham, wham, wham.
Fred, there's no orthodontist. This is prehistoric times.
Well, we're in prehistoric times, but don't worry, Bern. Even we can appreciate the PRESSURECAST, which is why I'm going to go on my smart rock and give it 5 stars and a written review on iRock.
Fred, you got to retune your iRock. It's not working right.
Yeah, no, it's working fine, Bern. It's working just fine. Just go on iTunes. We got to do this over. This sucks.
Burn.